It's classic design. You design for the people who are the most needy or have the most diverse needs, and you end up benefiting, sort of universal design principles, right? In terms of actually what happens is you end up with a better experience for everybody. But I think, and our examples of that are, like you go back to when Paperkite was smaller and had a very much less diverse workforce. As it's matured, it's realized the value of it, and it's attracted more people. And then so things like a Friday, which didn't end, in a small startup culture where everybody was partying or was the social scene at an agency was just in sort of endless Friday, as that word, and that was seen as great, sort of the gratitudes on a Friday where everybody's sitting around and the sort of the summing up of the week, and then just flowed into social activity, and so the permission to leave for those who had other things to do on a Friday night and other family commitments it wasn't that there was any rules about it, but social permission and pressure meant that you felt the obligation to stay around, right? And so realizing that actually it wasn't just mums, it wasn't even just mums and dads, but it was people who had other social things to get to on a Friday. They weren't any less engaged or any less performant at work. They just had other priorities on a Friday night that wasn't hanging around with their colleagues all weekend. Needed that social permission, and we needed to design Fridays differently, right? So that they were optional, and and things were brought forward. So actually more flexible at the end of the day. So I think when you're talking about mums potentially having the most acute challenge with feeling not just that they are under pressure to be present a lot of the time when it's difficult, but also in those community building sessions or meetings, is that you've got to be very thoughtful about the fact that if you're working as a part-time mum at work, then often you feel, I think, this pressure to be delivering as much as possible in that shorter time frame, and those social and really important team building sessions can drop off.
Mhm.
And so then you feel, and people don't see you, therefore you're not connected, and therefore actually it's harder to meet those performance things that you're trying to hit because you're working in a team. So it needs deliberate design by the organization to say, hey, how do we how do we fix this? Or how do we allow these people not to be disadvantaged in an unfair way?